basically every month you take a loan from your bank when you have a credit card. Let's talk about the consumer behavior between Germans and Americans. When I lived in the US, I had at least 4 or 5 credit cards all the time. So some from airlines, where when you spend some money on this credit card, like a certain amount in the first 2 or 3 months, you get miles. And this miles actually, that gave you at least 1 or maybe even 2 return tickets, economy tickets in the US. So it was worth actually spending this amount and then getting the miles. But of course, I paid them off like all the time. I even set a reminder for myself when I have to pay off which credit card. But most of the Americans does not. I remember when I first moved to the US, I think the jackpot by then was really, really high, and everyone wanted to play lottery to win this jackpot. And with my colleagues, I was sitting at lunch and then we were discussing, okay, what would we do actually if we would win this jackpot? And then someone was saying, oh yeah, they would like take a sabbatical and just travel. But then one of my colleagues was saying, oh, if I would win this jackpot, I would pay off my credit card debts. What? For me, this was unbelievable. Like, how can you have so much debt just from credit cards? Yeah, but this is basically how the Americans live. Some of them live from paycheck to paycheck. Even that what you get from your paycheck is already gone because it goes to actually, pay off your loan. And compared to Germans that are very, I would call us risk averse. So we always need to have a little nest like we can dip into in case of an emergency. To back up my facts that I found either through interacting with colleagues and friends and also living in the US, I found a video on YouTube from Haley Alexis, and she spent a whole video on explaining the consumer behavior of Americans and compare them with Germans. So if you are interested, I highly recommend this video. It's pretty well researched. I just want to use some sequences out of it just to back up my facts. So the beauty to that is really that she is American and I'm German, so maybe this helps actually to explain the fact from an American perspective, because I already gave my rundown on why I'm so nervous in taking a loan. And by the end, I also would like to look at some of the comments of her video. I looked at them before, and what is really eye-opening, like all the comments from Germans. Yeah, I can relate to so much. So come with me and let's see what she has to say. And maybe this helps to understand why I freak out now that we have to take a loan and Americans can still sleep even with 4 or 5 credit cards and not even paying them off every month.
American isn't paying off their credit cards, because credit cards can be an amazing way, credit in general can be an amazing way to build wealth in the United States. But the issue is that many people in the United States are not at the tax bracket, are not at the income level, are not at the, fluidity to be able to use credit as a means to gain wealth or to, multiply your wealth. And in Germany, a lot of people, they use credit cards, loans, all that good stuff for things like a new car, buying things for a home purchases, home appliances, purchasing a home, purchasing an apartment, purchasing things for your apartment. And not many people are using their credit cards to max them out, to just have the revolving interest rates on it for things like shoes, clothes, groceries, light bills, anything that you could think of.
So
your
true.
Necessities to live and your non-necessities to live. And I think in the United States we have a very gray area between these things. What we're spending in the United States encompasses both of those things.
It's so true, and exactly goes into the example I actually brought up in the beginning, why I even captured this video. Yes, I would never even think about taking a loan for buying clothes or buying shoes. Of course, I have to take a loan for building my house, but even that brings a lot of anxiety to me, how I will pay this back. When I was raised, actually, I was taught by my parents, if you don't have the money, then you can't buy it, right? Which is the total opposite from the Americans, how they grow up, right? So you don't have the money, but you have a credit card. You can buy things, and then when you have the money, you pay it off. Which is also a great example of one of my colleagues in the US who went on vacation, a huge family vacation. And she opened a credit card just for this vacation because the first 18 months, she did not have to pay interest on that. So even in their thinking, it's a total different thinking. Okay, I don't have the money, I know, but now I have 18 months to get the money somehow. I think this video already gave a very good overview of the differences between Germany and the Americans and their difference in consumer behavior. So Germans are, as Haley was mentioning, are sparsam. You know, they are more, they are more on the saving side, versus the Americans are spending more money and using their credit cards also for things where the Germans are more, they are more reluctant. They would use their stuff till it really, it really kind of dies. Let's take a look at the comments. They are coming from a German or from an American. It's so easy to tell. Okay, Max. I was raised with the parental advice to take a loan, only when you purchase a house. Otherwise, buy something when you have the money. Maybe this is my brother. Looks like actually it's the same advice he got from his parents. So another example, it's from Anouk. She is from the Netherlands, which Europe, so seems to be similar more to the German side than to the Americans, because she is saying that she has a friend and his American wife wanted a new couch, or they needed a new couch after they moved in together. She wanted to go shop for one right away and put it on the credit card. He argued that they should wait a couple of months until they saved the needed amount. So again, different consumer behavior. One, okay, I see the need now, let's go shopping. Put it on the credit card and then let's see how to pay it off. Other way, let's wait, let's, save up the money until we have this and then spend it. Oh, I love those comments actually. It's so obvious, the difference between those two cultures. I hope this video gave you a good perspective of the different consumer behavior between Germans and Americans. And of course, it doesn't mean that every German is risk averse and getting nightmares when taking on a loan. And same as the Americans, not every American lives from paycheck to paycheck. But I think it gave a good perspective of, they are German compared to American in different behavior in the consumption. If you enjoyed this video, and I hope so you did actually, it would be great if you would give me a thumbs up. And if you also would subscribe my channel, of course, this would mean a lot to me. This would support me and also helps in building a community, getting some audience, and I will continue those videos. Maybe it also helps me to pay off my loan. But for now, I just do it for fun. And it also helps to interact with my friends. I always try to convince them visiting us here in Germany and show them actually what they will expect when they visit us. I hope I don't scare them off, but let's see. So far, they are still very optimistic that they will come. And now actually, with your credit card, it will be hard to survive in Germany, but the debit card and cash is king. So see you soon.